He didn't just lose the title, he walked out. Drew McIntyre, a man who clawed, bled, and sacrificed everything to reclaim that WWE Championship, handed it over to Cody Rhodes on SmackDown, and then disappeared. No farewell speech, no handshake, no teary-eyed moment for the cameras. He just left, and the locker room? Silent. The front office? Scrambling. And Randy Orton? Oh, Randy Orton had words, and trust me, you are not prepared for what the Viper said. If you are a Drew McIntyre fan, this video is going to hurt you. And if you hate Drew McIntyre, this video is still going to shake you, because what happens next has consequences for every superstar on that roster. Before we go any further, smash that like button right now, subscribe to Ringside Backstage News if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell, because the story we're about to break down is moving fast, and you cannot afford to miss a single update as it develops. Let's rewind to SmackDown. The atmosphere inside that arena was already electric before Drew McIntyre even stepped through that curtain. This was supposed to be a statement match, a moment where the Scottish Warrior would reassert his dominance, silence every critic, and remind the world exactly why he is one of the most physically imposing, technically gifted, and emotionally ruthless performers in WWE history. The build to this match had been vicious. Drew had been on a rampage. He was cutting promos that felt less like television and more like real-life threats. He looked motivated. He looked dangerous. He looked like a man who genuinely believed the title was his birthright and nobody in that building was going to take it from him. Then Cody Rhodes walked out, and something shifted. The crowd erupted. The energy in the building flipped like a switch, because no matter how hard Drew has worked, no matter how many times he's reinvented himself, no matter how many bones he's broken and bodies he's left on the mat, Cody Rhodes carries something with him that Drew McIntyre simply cannot manufacture. That connection, that story, that American dream energy that makes arenas breathe differently the moment his music hits. The match itself was a war. Don't let anyone reduce it to a simple title change. These two men put on one of the most brutal, emotionally charged, physically grueling contests SmackDown has seen in years. Drew hit the Claymore kick not once, but twice. The referee's hand hit the mat 1, 2, and Rhodes kicked out. The arena lost its mind. Drew's face in that moment said everything. It was the face of a man watching his future collapse in slow motion. Cody came back. Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. New WWE Champion. Here's your first question, and I want your answers in the comments right now. How many times has Drew McIntyre won the WWE Championship throughout his career? Drop your answer below. Let's see who really knows their WWE history. Now here is where this story transforms from a great match into a full-blown crisis. After the 3 count, after the bell rang, after Cody Rhodes stood in the center of that ring holding the WWE Championship above his head, the cameras caught something that is still sending shockwaves through the entire WWE Universe. Drew McIntyre did not congratulate Cody. Drew McIntyre did not stand and acknowledge the moment. Drew McIntyre rolled out of the ring, walked up the ramp, and did not stop. He walked through the curtain. He walked past producers. He walked past agents. According to sources close to the situation, he walked straight to his personal locker room, grabbed his bags, and left the arena. No cooldown, no post-match interview, no conversation with management. Gone. Now, in professional wrestling, superstars walk out after losses all the time. It's part of the theatrical storytelling. But what makes this different, what makes this situation feel genuinely alarming, is the combination of timing, body language, and the reports that followed. Within hours of SmackDown going off the air, multiple backstage sources began indicating that Drew's frustration is not performative. This is not an angle. This is not a storyline work designed to generate sympathy or heat. The frustration is real, the tension is real, and the word being used in backstage conversations is a word that nobody in WWE management ever wants to hear attached to a top-tier talent. Done. Drew McIntyre, according to these reports, is done. Now, does done mean he has formally submitted his resignation? Not yet. What it means is that the conversations happening behind closed doors are serious enough that people within the company are genuinely unsure what his next move is. His contract situation adds another layer of fuel to this fire, and we will get into that. But first, you need to hear what Randy Orton said. Because Randy Orton's reaction is the part of this story that nobody is talking about enough, and it changes everything about how you should be interpreting Drew's walkout. Randy Orton does not react to things publicly very often. The Viper is calculated. He is methodical. He chooses his moments. So when Randy Orton opens his mouth about a situation involving another superstar, the entire industry listens. Orton's comments, made through a combination of a cryptic social media post and remarks made to people within the locker room that have since leaked to the press, were pointed, cold, and absolutely devastating in their precision. Without getting into every word, the essence of what Orton communicated was this: Drew McIntyre walking away from WWE right now, in this moment, over a title loss to Cody Rhodes, would be the single most selfish act a main event superstar could commit. Orton, who himself has had brutal, well-documented battles with WWE management over the years, who has been suspended, released, and welcomed back, essentially called out Drew for lacking the resilience that the job demands. And Orton did not stop there. The Viper reportedly made it very clear that if Drew does leave, he should not expect the kind of quiet, graceful re-entry that Orton himself received when he returned from injury. The landscape is different now. The locker room leadership is different. And a superstar who walks out mid-push, mid-storyline, leaving creative and management holding the bag, that person does not just get to come back and pick up where they left off. What makes Orton's reaction so significant is the history between these two men. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton have shared some of the most intense, physical, legitimately hard-hitting rivalries in recent WWE memory. There is mutual respect there, buried under layers of competition and ego. So when Orton speaks on Drew's situation, it is not a rival celebrating a downfall. It is a veteran speaking painful truth to someone who is on the verge of making a catastrophic career mistake. Here's question number 2. Drop your answer in the comments. Randy Orton has held the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship a record number of times. How many world title reigns does the Viper officially have? Think you know? Prove it in the comments. Let's talk about the real-world implications, because this is where it gets truly frightening for WWE as a company. Drew McIntyre is not a replaceable cog. He is one of a small number of performers on the roster who can credibly headline a premium live event, carry a championship story for months, and deliver in the ring at a level that silences even the harshest critics. Losing Drew, even temporarily, creates a vacuum at the top of SmackDown that is not easy to fill overnight. Cody Rhodes needs worthy challengers. The title needs meaningful opposition. And right now, with the roster as constructed, Drew McIntyre is at the top of that list of people who can make Cody's reign feel genuinely threatened. If Drew walks, that storyline potential walks with him. There is also the business of his contract to consider. Drew is believed to be in the final stretch of his current deal with WWE, and the timing of this walkout is either catastrophically bad or, and this is the theory some insiders are floating, strategically calculated. A superstar who makes themselves unavailable at the exact moment they are most valuable is a superstar with leverage. Is Drew McIntyre manufacturing a negotiation crisis? Is this a power play dressed up as an emotional breakdown? Or is he genuinely, truly at his breaking point? Nobody outside of Drew's inner circle knows for certain, but the rumors are swirling. AEW's name has been mentioned in the same breath as Drew's situation. TNA has been floated. Even independent promotions in Europe, where Drew has historical roots and genuine box office pull, are reportedly monitoring the situation closely. The window, if it is real, could open very soon. Here is what nobody wants to say out loud, but what this channel is going to say, because we do not shy away from the real conversation. Drew McIntyre has given WWE everything. He was released. He went to the independents. He rebuilt himself from the ground up. He became a global sensation in NXT UK. He came back to the main roster and became the man who main event WrestleMania without a live crowd, during a global pandemic, and delivered one of the most emotionally powerful championship moments in company history. He has been loyal. He has been reliable. He has been consistently excellent, and there is a legitimate argument that WWE has not always protected that investment with the respect it deserves. So if Drew McIntyre is broken, if the fire that has driven him for 2 decades of professional wrestling is finally flickering, that is not simply a story about one man's ego or inability to handle defeat. That is a story about an industry that consumes its greatest assets and sometimes forgets to say thank you until it is too late. Randy Orton's reaction, as cutting as it was, only tells half the story. The other half belongs to Drew McIntyre, and that half deserves to be heard. This situation is developing. We will be tracking every single update as it comes in and bringing it to you first, right here on Ringside Backstage News. If this video gave you something to think about, share it. Put it in your wrestling group chats. Tag a Drew McIntyre fan. Tag a Cody Rhodes fan. Let's get this conversation going, because what happens next could genuinely reshape the landscape of WWE programming for the rest of the year. Drop your trivia answers below, tell me what you think Drew should do, and don't forget, like, subscribe, and stay locked in. This is Ringside Backstage News. We'll see you in the next one.